Welcome. The archive is now open. Tonight, from our restricted collection, we are unsealing one case file documenting the unexplained phenomena of the Millbrook Road incident. The accounts you are about to hear are not fiction. They have been meticulously sourced from officer body-worn camera footage, time-stamped dispatch logs, and sealed forensic evidence reports and preserved within this archive for professional review. The world believes these stories are lost to time. We ensure they are not forgotten. If you believe that certain knowledge must be preserved, subscribe to the Nocturnal Archive and activate the notification bell to be alerted of our next acquisition. After reviewing these files, leave your own analysis or related experiences in the comments below. Now, find your comfort in the darkness. Let the noise of the day fade as we access the first file. Log entry 001. Incident 4738 Millbrook Road. Unresponsive caller date February 12. Unit 4 Alpha, Officer Carter. Source Dashcam V90. Body microphone audio. Unit 4 Alpha is traveling northbound on County Road 9. Speed is constant at 45 miles per hour. Dashboard instrumentation indicates engine temperature is nominal. External temperature sensor reads -4 degrees Celsius. The vehicle heater is active on setting 2. Audible low-frequency hum from the tires on the asphalt. Dashcam captures the visual feed of the road ahead. High-beam headlights illuminate the double yellow line in the gravel shoulder. Reflective markers pass at regular intervals of 1.5 seconds. Visibility is clear. No precipitation recorded. There is no other traffic in the visual range. Officer Carter engages the Mobile Data Terminal, MDT. Audio records the rhythmic tapping of keys. Screen glare reflects off the officer's glasses. He is logging a routine sector check. Carter. To dictaphone. Sector 4 patrol complete. All commercial properties secure. No vehicles observed at the grain depot. Proceeding to check the northern perimeter near the reservoir. Radio chatter is audible in the background. It is low volume. Dispatch. Unit 2 Bravo. Status on the 10-56 at the quick stop. Unit 2 Bravo. 10-4. Dispatch. False alarm. Employee error on the silent alarm. Clearing the scene. Dispatch. Copy that, 2 Bravo. Show you clear at 241. Carter does not react. His gaze remains fixed on the road. He adjusts the rear view mirror 5 degrees to the left. He reaches for a thermos in the center console, unscrews the cap, takes a sip, and reseals it. The sound of the plastic threading is distinct in the quiet cabin. Unit 4. Alpha slows to 30 miles per hour, approaching the intersection of County Road 9 and State Route 12. The traffic light is cycling. It is red. Carter brings the vehicle to a complete halt behind the white limit line. He engages the turn signal. The rhythmic clicking of the relay dominates the audio track for 45 seconds. There is no cross traffic. Carter waits for the green signal. The light cycles to green. Carter accelerates. Engine RPMs rise to 2,500 before the transmission shifts. The vehicle turns right onto State Route 12. This stretch of road is unlit. The darkness beyond the headlight throw is absolute. Carter activates the radar unit. A high-pitched test tone sounds for 0.5 seconds. The digital display lights up. Calibration OK. He sets the threshold to 65 miles per hour. The display reads 00 as there are no targets. Carter. To dictaphone. Radar calibration verified. Time 2:44. Continuing patrol. The radio crackles. The tone of the dispatcher remains flat. Professional. Dispatch. Unit 4 Alpha. Carter reaches for the handset. Carter. 4 Alpha. Go ahead. Dispatch. 4 Alpha. I have a 911 disconnect. Origin is 4738 Millbrook Road. Single caller, female. Stated someone was attempting entry. Line went dead. Callback attempts are going to voicemail. Carter. Copy. 4738 Millbrook. Do we have a history on the address? Dispatch. Negative on history. Caller ID lists residence as Miller residence. Correction. Registered to a Jameson family. Notes indicate structure is isolated. Nearest unit is 4 Alpha. Carter engages the emergency lights. The reflection of blue and red strobes bounces off the roadside trees. He performs a U-turn on the empty highway. Tires crunch on the gravel shoulder before gripping the asphalt. Carter 4, Alpha is 10 to 7-6 en route. ETA approximately 12 minutes. Dispatch, 10 to 4. Proceed with caution, complainant sounded. Distressed. Audio cut abruptly. No background noise prior to disconnect. Unit 4, Alpha accelerates to 70 miles per hour. The engine noise increases to a drone. Wind noise buffers against the driver's side window. The suspension reacts to the uneven pavement. Carter keeps both hands on the wheel at the 10 and 2 positions. His expression is neutral. He glances at the MDT map. The route is highlighted in yellow. The vehicle approaches the turnoff for Millbrook Road. This is a single-lane gravel access road. Carter slows the vehicle to 35 miles per hour to navigate the turn. The transition from asphalt to gravel creates a loud, continuous crunching sound on the audio feed. Dust rises in the rearview camera feed, illuminated by the taillights. Carter, to dictaphone, turning onto Millbrook. Road conditions are poor, ice patches visible in the ruts, reducing speed to 25. The drive continues. The visual feed shows only the tunnel of light created by the headlamps. Dense brush lines both sides of the road. Branches occasionally scrape the side of the patrol car. Dispatch, 4 Alpha, update. We have attempted 3 callbacks to the landline. No answer. Cell ping is inconclusive due to tower range. We are logging this as a potential code 30 burglary in progress. Carter, copy that. I'm 2 miles out. Maintaining silence on approach. Carter reaches down and switches off the siren, though he had not activated it. He leaves the light bar active. The flashing lights create a stroboscopic effect on the gravel road. The GPS indicates arrival is imminent. The road widens slightly. Carter, visual on the structure. 4 Alpha is 10 to 2, 3 on scene. The dashcam captures the property. It is a white, 2-story farmhouse situated approximately 100 yards back from the road. Carter pulls the vehicle into the long driveway. The gravel crunch slows and stops. Carter, to dictaphone, arrived at 4,738 Millbrook. Observations. Structure is fully illuminated. Repeat. All interior lights appear to be active. Exterior floodlights are active. The vehicle comes to a halt behind a gray sedan parked near the house. Carter puts the transmission in park. He does not exit immediately. He scans the exterior through the windshield. Carter, to radio. Dispatch. I have 1 vehicle in the driveway. Gray sedan. Plate matches the registration. Hood is. He pauses, leaning forward. Carter. Hood appears cold. No heat, haze. Front door to the residence is wide open. The dashcam clearly shows the front door of the farmhouse standing open at a 90-degree angle. The light from the hallway spills out onto the frozen porch. No movement is visible inside the doorway. Dispatch. Copy. Open door. Backup is 20 minutes out. Do you have eyes on the caller? Carter. Negative. No movement in the windows. Proceeding to investigate, Carter unbuckles his seatbelt. The mechanism retracts with a snap. He opens the driver's side door. The audio captures the chime of the door sensor and the crunch of his boots hitting the frozen gravel. He draws his flashlight, though the scene is already bright from the house lights. He rests his hand on his service weapon. Carter walks toward the front porch. His breathing is steady, recorded clearly on the body mic. He stops at the sedan and places his hand on the hood. Carter, whispering to Mike, vehicle is cold to the touch. Frost is forming on the windshield. Engine has not been run in at least 3 hours. He continues to the porch steps. The wood creaks under his weight. He stands at the threshold of the open door. Carter loudly, Police department. Anyone home? Audio records only the ambient sound of the wind in the fields and the low hum of the house's heating system. There is no verbal response. No footsteps. Carter steps across the threshold. Carter, police. Identify yourself. Silence. Carter, to radio. Making entry. Front door was unsecured. No contact yet. House is silent. Log entry 002 incident. Incoming transmission. Dispatch protocol date February 12. Location: County Central Dispatch. Workstation 4 Operator: Dispatcher Olson. ID #492. Source: Master Audio Logger. CAD System Logs. The operational floor of County Central Dispatch is currently at minimum staffing levels. 3 active workstations are illuminated. Ambient lighting is dimmed to 20% to reduce screen glare. The primary auditory input consists of the low-frequency drone from the server rack cooling fans located in the adjacent room, registering at a constant 42 decibels. There is the intermittent sound of keystrokes from Workstation 2. The master clock on the north wall advances. Workstation 4 displays the computer-aided dispatch map on Monitor 1. The screen shows the GPS location of Unit 4 Alpha, Officer Carter, moving northbound on County Road 9 at 45 miles per hour. Monitor 2 displays the active call log. The list is static. The last entry was cleared at 2:41. Monitor 3 shows the telephony status grid. All lines are green, indicating ready idle status. Operator Olson adjusts the ergonomic seating position and takes a sip of water. Fluid intake is logged as standard hydration protocol during the graveyard shift. A visual alert triggers on Monitor 3. Line 1 flashes red, indicating an incoming emergency call. The system automatically routes the audio to Operator Olson's headset. The ANI/ALI, Automatic Number Identification, Automatic Location Identification System populates the data fields on the screen. Processing time is 1-2 seconds. Data display. Phone number: redacted, -5550192. Service provider: County Landline Services. Subscriber: Jameson, Robert, and Sarah. Address: 4738 Millbrook Road. Operator Olson depresses the foot pedal to accept the call. The audio channel opens. Dispatcher Olson, 911. What is the address of your emergency? There is a latency of 2 seconds before the caller responds. The audio waveform on the recording software shows a low amplitude spike, indicating background noise is minimal. Caller: female, adult, 4738 Millbrook. Please, you need to send someone. Voice analysis. The subject's vocal pitch is elevated to 280 Hz. Rapid modulation in the voice suggests hyperventilation. The words are spoken quickly, with shortened intervals between syllables. Dispatcher Olson: Okay, 4738 Millbrook Road. I have that verified. Tell me exactly what is happening. Caller: Hez trying to get in. I can hear him at the back door. Hez: He's testing the handle. Operator Olson begins typing the initial incident report into the CAD terminal. Keylogging software records a typing speed of 85 words per minute. Entry: POS, break-in. Sub-J at rear door, female caller alone. Dispatcher Olson: Are you alone in the house, ma'am? Caller: Yes. My husband is away. It's just me and the kids are asleep upstairs. I'm in the kitchen. I turned off the lights. Dispatcher Olson: Okay. Keep the lights off. Are the doors locked? Caller: Yes. Yes, I checked them. But he's not leaving. Hez just standing there now. I can hear him breathing against the glass. Operator Olson highlights Unit 4 Alpha on the map screen. He right-clicks and selects Priority Assignment. The status of Unit 4 Alpha changes from patrol to dispatched. Dispatcher Olson: I have an officer en route. He is approximately 20 minutes away. I need you to go to a safe room if you can. Is there a room with a lock where you can take the children? Caller: I can't move. If I move, he'll see me. The kitchen window faces the yard. The blinds are open. Audio anomaly. A faint, high-frequency sound is recorded on the caller's end. Spectrographic analysis identifies this as a metallic click, consistent with a latch mechanism engaging or disengaging. Dispatcher Olson: Mom, are you still there? Caller: He stopped. Dispatcher Olson: The noise stopped. Caller: No, the handle stopped moving. He knows I'm here. The caller's respiration rate increases significantly. The microphone picks up the sound of fabric rustling, suggesting the caller is shifting position. Caller: Why isn't he leaving? Why is he just standing there? Dispatcher Olson: Stay on the line with me. Do not hang up. Officer Carter is driving to you right now. Can you give me a description of the person? Can you see him? Caller, it's too dark. I just see a shape. Hez, tall. Hez pressing his face against the glass. Dispatcher Olson. Okay. Does he have any weapons? Do you see anything in his hands? Caller. No. Hez using both hands on the glass. Hez. The audio transmission cuts out. The waveform on the master audio logger flatlines. There is no fade out, no sound of a struggle, no scream, and no sound of the phone handset hitting the floor. The data stream simply ceases. The status on monitor 3 changes from active to disconnected. Operator Olson stares at the screen for 1.5 seconds. Dispatcher Olson. Mom. Silence. The line is dead. Operator Olson immediately initiates the callback protocol. He clicks the redial icon on the screen. The system logs an outgoing call to redacted -5550192. Ring 1, ring 2, ring 3. The ringing continues for 20 seconds. System audio. We're sorry. The number you have reached is not answering. Please try again later. Olson terminates the attempt. He enters a note in the CAD log. Call, disconnect. No contact, on callback. Olson tries the secondary contact number listed in the subscriber database. Mobile. The system logs an outgoing call to redacted -5550884. System audio. The subscriber you have called is out of coverage area. Olson terminates the attempt. Dispatcher. Olson. To room. I lost contact. 4738. Millbrook. Technical disconnect. Olson activates the radio channel for Patrol Sector 4. He depresses the Push to Talk PTT button. Dispatcher Olson. Unit 4, Alpha. There is a standard delay of 3 seconds as the repeater tower relays the signal. Unit 4 Alpha. Officer Carter. 4 Alpha. Go ahead. Dispatcher Olson. 4 Alpha. Be advised. Complainant contact has been lost. The line disconnected at 2 hours 48 minutes and 28 seconds. Attempted callbacks are negative for answer. I am upgrading this to a priority 1 response. Olson updates the incident code in the CAD system from 10 to 5 for suspicious person to 10 to 3 1 crime in progress, burglary. He checks the estimated arrival time for Unit 4 Alpha. The GPS calculation shows 17 minutes remaining based on current road speeds. Unit 4 Alpha. Copy priority 1. I am accelerating. ETA updated to 12 minutes if road conditions permit. Dispatcher Olson. Copy. Be advised. Complainant stated subject was at the rear door. Attempting entry. Subject described as a tall male. Complainant stated subject was aware of her presence. Olson leans back in the chair. He observes the icon for Unit 4 Alpha moving slightly faster across the digital map. He logs the timestamp of the disconnect. He opens a new window to check the premise history for 4738 Millbrook Road again. The database returns no prior incidents. He glances at the audio waveform of the call again. He zooms in on the final 0.5 seconds before the disconnect. Visual observation. The waveform does not show the chaotic spikes typical of a violent phone destruction. It shows a clean, vertical chop. The connection was not broken physically. It was terminated electronically from the source. Olson minimizes the audio window. He returns to the main status grid. He takes another sip of water. He watches the clock. Dispatcher Olson to dictaphone. Log. Dispatch log entry 492B. Lost contact with caller at Millbrook residence. No audio of entry or assault prior to disconnect. Unit 4 Alpha is the sole responding unit. Secondary units unavailable due to distance. Holding channel open for 4 Alpha arrival. The hum of the server fans continues at 42 decibels. Log entry 003. Incident. Perimeter assessment. Initial approach date February 12. Location 4738 Millbrook Road. Unit 4 Alpha. Officer Carter. Source. Body camera. Axon Model 3. Dashcam V90. Unit 4 Alpha. comes to a complete halt in the driveway of the residence. The gravel crunch subsides. The engine idle drops to 600 revolutions per minute. The dashcam captures the target structure: a 2-story farmhouse, white siding, dark shingle roof. Visual observation: the residence exhibits 100% illumination. Light is visible in every window on the front facade: ground floor living room, ground floor kitchen, second floor master bedroom, second floor guest rooms. Exterior floodlights mounted on the garage and porch corners are active, casting high-lumen LED beams across the frost-covered lawn. Officer Carter shifts the transmission into park. He engages the emergency brake. He unclips the radio handset. Carter, dispatch. 4 Alpha is 10 to 23. I have visual on the structure. Confirmed address 4738. Be advised, the residence is fully lit. It looks like a Christmas tree out here. Every light in the house is on. Dispatch. Copy 10 to 23. Proceed with caution. We still have no contact on the callback. Carter. Copy. I'm going to check the perimeter vehicle first, then make contact at the entry. Carter exits the patrol vehicle. The body camera activates its buffer, capturing the timestamp and GPS coordinates in the upper right quadrant. The audio track records the heavy slam of the car door and the crunch of tactical boots on frozen gravel. Wind noise is moderate, gusting from the northwest at approximately 10 to 15 miles per hour. Carter adjusts his duty belt. He draws his mag light, but keeps it lowered. The ambient light from the house renders it unnecessary for navigation. He keeps his right hand free. Hovering near the holster of his Glock 17, Carter approaches the gray sedan parked in the driveway. It is a Honda Accord, approximately 2018 model year. License plate ALPHAZULU492. Carter circles the vehicle counterclockwise. He shines his flashlight into the rear window. The back seat is empty. A child's booster seat is visible on the passenger side rear. He reaches the front of the vehicle. He places his gloved hand flat against the center of the hood. He holds it there for 5 seconds. Carter. To dictaphone. Vehicle check. Gray Honda. Plate Alpha Zulu 492. The hood is cold. Repeating. Engine block is cold. Ambient temperature is -6. There is no residual heat. This vehicle has been stationary for an extended period. He moves to the driver's side window. He shines the light inside. Visual observation. Keys are not in the ignition. A purse is visible on the passenger seat. A smartphone is resting in the center cup holder. Screen dark. Carter. Dispatch. I have personal items in the vehicle. Purse and phone visible. Vehicles locked. Proceeding to the residence. Carter leaves the vehicle and walks up the concrete path toward the front porch. The path is lined with dormant rose bushes. The concrete is cracked in several places. As he ascends the 3 wooden steps of the porch, the source of the light becomes clearer. The front door is a solid wood door with an oval glass insert. It is standing wide open, swung inward to the right. Carter. Dispatch. Confirming open door. Front entry is wide open. No sign of forced entry on the frame or lock mechanism from this distance. Carter stops at the threshold. He does not enter immediately. He positions himself to the left of the door frame, utilizing the exterior wall as cover. He listens. Audio analysis. Wind. 12 miles per hour is external. High-velocity air movement audible from the interior floor vents. Media. Faint audio from a television set. Indistinguishable dialogue, likely a commercial or infomercial. Voices. None. Movement. None. Carter leans steadily around the door frame to inspect the thermal conditions. Visual observation. Heat waves are faintly visible, distorting the air at the threshold where the warm interior air meets the freezing exterior atmosphere. Steam rises from the interior floorboards near the door. Carter. To dictaphone. Significant heat loss at the entry. The heating system is running full blast. It feels like a sauna inside compared to out here. The door has been open long enough to form condensation on the porch ceiling, but the interior is still retaining heat. Carter fully reveals himself in the doorway, weapon now drawn and held at the low-ready position. He activates the weapon-mounted light, creating a focused beam that cuts through the ambient room light. Carter loudly. Sheriff's Department. This is Officer Carter. Anyone inside? Call out. The shout echoes in the foyer. The television audio continues uninterrupted. Carter. I'm entering the residence. Carter steps onto the laminate flooring of the foyer. He sweeps the weapon left, then right. Visual observation. To the immediate left is a coat rack. A woman's coat and a man's jacket are hanging. A pair of muddy boots are on the boot tray. To the right is a staircase leading up. Directly ahead is the living room. Carter to radio. Dispatch. I am inside. Foyer is clear. No subjects in visual range. The heat is excessive. Thermostat must be set to 80 or higher. He moves forward, boots squeaking slightly on the laminate. He checks the floor for wet footprints or debris that might indicate a struggle or an intruder tracking in mud. Visual observation. The floor is clean. No wet footprints leading from the open door. This indicates that whoever opened the door did not walk back in with wet shoes, or they left without stepping in mud. The threshold is dry. Carter pauses at the archway leading to the living room. He holds position, scanning the room in sectors. Visual observation. Living room. Sector 1 left. A large, sectional sofa. No occupants. A pink stuffed rabbit is lying face down on the rug near the sofa. Sector 2 center. A coffee table, covered in papers, and a child's drawing crayons, visible. Sector 3, right. The television. It is a 50-inch LCD. It is playing a looping advertisement for kitchen knives. Volume is set to level 8 or 10. Sector 4 floor. Wooden building blocks are stacked in the tower formation approximately 2 feet high. The tower is intact. Carter to dictaphone. Living room is secure. No occupants. Scene appears disturbed but not violent. Toys are scattered, but it looks like play, not a struggle. TV is on. The block tower is standing. If there was a fight in here, they didn't knock it over. Carter lowers the weapon slightly but keeps his finger indexed on the frame. He turns his head toward the kitchen archway. The smell of food hits the sensors. Carter. I smell dinner. Yeast, rolls, and cooked vegetables. Moving to the kitchen. LOG entry 004. Incident. Interior sweep. Evidence assessment date. February 12. Location. 4738. Millbrook Road. Ground floor. Kitchen. Unit 4 Alpha. Officer Carter. Source. Body camera. Axon. Model 3. Officer Carter moves from the living room sector into the connecting hallway. The flooring transitions from plush beige carpet to linoleum with a faux tile pattern. The ambient noise level remains consistent. The low drone of the forced air heating system is louder here, indicating proximity to a floor vent. The television audio from the living room is now faint, registering at approximately 15 decibels in the background. Carter pauses at the entrance to the kitchen. He raises his weapon, scanning the room in a standard 180-degree sweep. Visual observation. The kitchen is rectangular, approximately 15 by 20 feet. Lighting is provided by a central overhead fixture containing 3 60-watt incandescent bulbs and under-cabinet fluorescent strips. Visibility is 100%. There are no shadows in the corners. Carter to dictaphone. Entering kitchen. Area is clear of hostiles. Lighting is full. No signs of struggle on the perimeter. Carter holsters his weapon but leaves the retention strap disengaged. He approaches the dining table situated in the center of the room. It is a round oak table set for 4 individuals. Inventory, table, surface, 4 ceramic plates, pattern, floral border, 4 stainless steel forks, knives, and spoons, 4 glass tumblers containing a white, opaque liquid. Visual ID, milk. Fill levels vary between 80% and 90%. Central serving dish, Pyrex casserole dish, 9x13 inch. Contents appear to be a tuna noodle casserole with breadcrumb topping. Side dish, wicker basket containing 6 dinner rolls, condiments, butter dish, lid remove, salt shaker, pepper shaker. Carter moves closer to the table. He removes his right glove. He places the back of his hand approximately 2 inches above the casserole dish. Carter to dictaphone. Food service is active. I am detecting significant radiant heat from the main dish. Steam is visible rising from the plates. He reaches out and touches the side of a coffee mug sitting at the head of the table. Carter. Coffee cup is hot to the touch. Estimated surface temperature is above 50 degrees Celsius. This was poured recently. Very recently. He looks at his wrist to check his watch. Carter. Time is 3:13. Dispatch logged the call disconnect at 2:48. That is a 25-minute interval. Given the ambient temperature of the house, this food should have cooled significantly if they left immediately after the call. This is fresh. He picks up a fork from one of the plates. A small amount of green bean casserole is speared on the tines. He holds it up to the light, then places it back down. The food retains its moisture. There is no skin forming on the sauce, which typically occurs after 10 to 15 minutes of exposure to air. Carter shifts his attention to the seating arrangement. 3 chairs are tucked neatly under the table. The 4th chair, positioned at the 6 o'clock orientation relative to the entrance, is overturned. It lies on its back, legs pointing toward the refrigerator. Visual observation. It is a Windsor-style wooden chair. No damage to the legs or spindle back. Scuff marks on the linoleum indicate it was pushed back with force before tipping over. 1 chair, overturned. Position suggests the occupant stood up rapidly and retreated toward the wall. No corresponding scuffs for the other 3 chairs. Carter tracks the trajectory from the overturned chair to the north wall. Mounted on the wall, next to the pantry, is a landline telephone base. The handset is not in the cradle. It is dangling by the coiled cord, swaying slightly in the air current from the heating vent. The sway amplitude is approximately 1 inch left to right. Carter approaches the phone. He lifts the receiver to his ear. Audio analysis. A continuous, monotone electronic signal. Dial tone. Carter to radio. Dispatch. I have the origin of the 911 call. Kitchen wall unit. The receiver is off the hook. I am hearing a dial tone. Dispatch. Copy. Dial tone. Be advised. The call was terminated from the source. If the line is open now, they must have hung up and then knocked the phone off again, or the disconnect was a system error. Understood. The cord is stretched. It looks like it was dropped or pulled. There is no damage to the wall mount. He gently places the receiver back into the cradle. The dial tone ceases. He stares at the unit for 3 seconds, then turns back to the room. Carter moves to the rear exterior door located in the kitchen. This is the door the caller claimed the intruder was attempting to breach. It is a standard steel entry door with a deadbolt and a knob lock. A window is set into the upper half of the door, covered by a checkered curtain. Carter lifts the curtain with the barrel of his flashlight. Visual observation. The backyard is illuminated by the floodlight. A swing set is visible. The grass is white with frost. There are no footprints in the frost immediately outside the door. He checks the locking mechanism. Carter, to dictaphone. Rear door is secured. Deadbolt is engaged. Chain lock is engaged. Repeating. Chain lock is engaged from the inside. There is no way an intruder entered or exited through this door. He steps back and pans the camera across the kitchen counters. A slow cooker is plugged in but set to off. A block of knives sits near the sink. All slots are filled. Visual observation. The faucet is dripping. Rate of flow, 1 drop every 5 seconds. There are no dishes in the basin. Carter, kitchen is clean. No sign of a struggle. No blood. No forced entry. It looks like they sat down to eat and then vanished. He walks back to the table and looks at the glasses of milk. The surface of the liquid in the nearest glass is perfectly still. No vibration. Carter retrieves a digital thermometer from his tactical vest pocket. He aims the laser at the casserole dish. Reading 138.2 degrees Fahrenheit, 59 degrees Celsius. Carter, to dictaphone. Thermometer confirms food temp at 138 degrees. This meal was plated less than 10 minutes ago. Dispatch. Verify the time of the 911 call. Dispatch. Call logged at 2:47. Disconnect at 2:48. That doesn't match the physical evidence. If they left at 2:48, this food would be 100 degrees or lower by now. Someone was heating this up after the call was made. Carter stands in the center of the kitchen. The silence is heavy, broken only by the hum of the refrigerator compressor kicking on. Dispatch. I'm clearing the ground floor, proceeding to the laundry room and office before heading upstairs. Still no contact with any occupants. House is secure but inconsistent. He turns away from the steaming food and heads toward the hallway. The camera captures the overturned chair one last time before the frame shifts to the corridor. Log entry 005 incident. Structure clearance. Upper level sweep date. February 12. Location. 4738 Millbrook Road Utility Room. Second floor, Unit 4 Alpha. Officer Carter. Source. Body camera. Axon Model 3. Officer Carter exits the kitchen through the west corridor. To his immediate right is a louvered bifold door. He extends his left hand and pulls the handle. The door track squeaks. Visual observation. Utility closet. The space contains a washer and dryer unit, side-by-side configuration. Brand, Kenmore. Color, white. The washing machine's control panel is illuminated. A green LED next to the label Cycle Complete is solid. The dial is set to normal wash, warm cold. Carter places his hand on the lid of the washer. Carter, to dictaphone. Washer cycle is finished. Unit is silent. Checking contents. He lifts the lid. The safety latch disengages with a click. Visual observation. Interior. The drum is filled with wet clothing. Items visible. 2 pairs of denim jeans, adult size. 3 t-shirts, various colors. Several pairs of socks. The clothing is plastered against the sides of the drum from centrifugal force during the spin cycle. The scent of fresh laundry detergent is detected. Carter. Clothes are wet, cold to the touch. They haven't been transferred to the dryer yet. Cycle likely finished within the last hour based on moisture retention. Carter closes the lid. He turns to the dryer. It is empty. The lint trap is clean. He proceeds down the hallway. On the left is a small home office. The door is open. Visual observation. A desk is positioned against the far wall. A desktop computer tower is running. The cooling fan is audible at approximately 10 decibels. The monitor is active, displaying a screensaver, shifting geometric pipes. Carter taps the spacebar on the keyboard. The screensaver dismisses. Screen display. A paused video game. Title: Civilization 5. The pause menu is overlaid on a tactical map. Carter, to dictaphone. Computer is active. Game is paused. No other applications open. Room is clear of occupants. Carter reaches the base of the main staircase. The stairs are carpeted in beige pile. He looks up the stairwell. Visibility is clear to the landing. Carter loudly, Sheriff's Department, coming upstairs. He waits 5 seconds. No response. No sound of movement on the floorboards above. He begins the ascent, keeping his weapon trained on the landing. He steps on the outer edge of the treads to minimize noise, though the stairs creak under the weight of his tactical gear. Carter reaches the second-floor landing. The hallway stretches left and right. There are 4 doors. All are closed. Carter to radio. 4 Alpha is on the second floor. Clearing rooms now, left to right. He approaches the first door on the left. He tests the handle. Unlocked. He pushes the door open and enters quickly, sweeping the corners. Visual observation. Bedroom. 1. Master. The room contains a king-size bed. The duvet is pulled back on the left side, exposing the sheets. The pillows are indented. At the foot of the bed, on a bench, a set of clothes is laid out flat. A pair of women's slacks, a beige sweater, and undergarments. Carter, to dictaphone. Master bedroom. Bed is unmade on one side only. Clothes are laid out as if for the next day, or as if someone was about to get dressed. He checks the ensuite bathroom. Visual observation. Master bath. The lights are off. Carter flips the switch. The fan engages with a loud hum. The shower stall is dry. The bathtub is dry. On the vanity counter, a curling iron is plugged into the GFCI outlet. The indicator light is red. On. Carter hovers his hand over the ceramic barrel of the iron. Carter. Curling iron is active. Heat radiating. High temperature setting. This is a fire hazard. He unplugs the device. The red light extinguishes. Carter. Device unplugged at 3:20, proceeding to next room. Carter exits the master suite and crosses the hall to the second door. Visual observation. Bedroom. 2. Child. Male. Decor consists of space-themed wallpaper and bedding. A twin bed is positioned against the far wall. Carter enters. Observation. The bed is made perfectly. The comforter is tucked in at the corners. The pillow is centered. There are no wrinkles. Carter drops to a knee and lifts the dust ruffle. He shines his light under the bed. Under bed inventory. 3 plastic storage bins. Label. Dust bunnies. No person. He stands and opens the closet. It is filled with clothes on hangers. He pushes the clothes aside. The back wall is solid drywall. Carter to dictaphone. Bedroom 2 is clear. Child's room. Bed is made. Repeating. Bed is made. It is 03:21 inches the morning. This bed has not been slept in. Carter moves to the third door. Visual observation. Bedroom 3. Child. Female. Decor is pink and floral. A twin bed with a canopy frame. Carter enters. Observation. The bed is made. A decorative pillow is placed in the center. A row of stuffed animals is arranged on the window seat. He checks the window. It is a double-hung sash window. The lock is engaged. The glass is cold. Carter to dictaphone. Bedroom 3 clear. Bed is also made. Window secured from the inside. No occupants. Carter stands in the hallway. He looks at the ceiling hatch for the attic. The paint seal around the hatch is unbroken. There are no scuff marks indicating recent access. Carter to radio. Dispatch. Second floor is clear. I have a negative count on all occupants. No sign of the caller or the children. Dispatch. Copy. Did you check the closets? Carter. Affirmative. Closets, underbeds, shower stalls. All negative. Carter to dictaphone. Summary. Okay, logging an anomaly. The timeline is inconsistent. Downstairs, dinner is on the table and hot. That suggests 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. Upstairs, the kids' beds are made, which suggests morning, or that they never went to bed. But the 911 call came in at 2:47 a.m. If they were eating dinner at 3 a.m., why are the beds made? If they were asleep, why is the food hot? The curling iron was left on. The water is running in the kitchen. The logic does not track. Carter walks back to the landing. He looks down the stairs at the brightly lit foyer. There is no evidence of a break-in, no wet footprints, no forced doors, but the family is gone, and they left in the middle of everything. He descends the stairs. Carter. I'm going to recheck the ground floor. I missed a door in the kitchen. There was a pantry I didn't open. Reinitiating ground floor sweep. Carter reaches the bottom of the stairs. He moves back toward the kitchen. The smell of the tuna casserole is stronger now, filling the hallway. The TV in the living room has switched to a news broadcast. The weatherman is predicting snow. Carter. Dispatch. Re-entering kitchen sector. I'm going to check the pantry and the basement access. Do we have a floor plan for this property? Dispatch. Negative on floor plan. County tax records list a full basement. Unfinished. Carter. Copy. Unfinished basement. Investigating access point now. Log entry 006. Incident subterranean breach. Acoustic anomaly date February 12. Location 4738 Millbrook Road. Basement level unit. 4 Alpha. Officer Carter. Source. Body camera. Axon Model 3. Audio sensor array. Officer Carter stands in the kitchen sector, facing the north wall. To the left of the refrigerator is a tall cabinet assembly designated as a pantry. The cabinet door is closed. Carter observes a gap of approximately 3 inches between the side of the pantry cabinet and the drywall. He moves closer. The gap reveals a door jamb. A standard interior door is installed in the recess, partially obscured by the pantry unit. The door is painted white. It is not latched. It stands ajar by approximately 2 inches. A vertical strip of darkness is visible through the opening. Carter shifts his position to gain leverage. He reaches behind the pantry cabinet with his left hand and pushes the door inward. The hinges are dry. The door swings open with a low-pitched friction noise. Visual observation. Stairwell. The opening reveals a wooden staircase descending steeply. The treads are unfinished pine. There is no handrail on the left side. The right side is flush against the foundation wall. Carter locates a toggle switch on the wall at shoulder height. He flicks it to the on position. Result: negative illumination. He flicks it off and on again. No change. Carter to dictaphone. Basement access located behind kitchen pantry. Light switch is non-functional, likely bulb failure or circuit interruption. Proceeding with flashlight. Carter retrieves his mag light from his belt loop. He twists the bezel to focus the beam. He descends the first step. The wood flexes audibly under his weight. Carter loudly. Sheriff's Department. Is anyone down here? The shout does not echo. The acoustic properties of the space suggest sound-dampening materials or a large volume of air. He descends slowly. Count. 1 step. 2 steps. 3 steps. Audio analysis. Each step produces a distinct creak registering at 20 to 25 decibels. At the midpoint of the staircase, step 7, Carter pauses. He aims the flashlight beam upward to inspect the floor joists of the kitchen above. Visual observation. Ceiling. Exposed wooden beams. 2x10. Electrical wiring. Romex is stapled to the sides of the joists. Copper plumbing pipes run parallel to the center beam. Condensation is visible on the cold water line. Carter to dictaphone. Significant temperature differential detected. Air temperature is dropping rapidly as I descend. Estimated ambient temperature at this level is 10 degrees Celsius. I can see my breath condensing in the light beam. Carter reaches the concrete slab at the bottom of the stairs. He scans the room in a grid pattern, moving the light from left to right. Visual observation. Basement Sector A. Storage. To the left, a series of metal shelving units. Shelf 1. Cardboard boxes labeled Xmas Decor. Shelf 2. Canned goods, mason jars. Contents appear to be preserved peaches and tomatoes. Shelf 3. Old paint cans. Rust rings visible on the shelves. Carter approaches the shelves. He checks the dust accumulation. Carter. Shelves are dusty. Layer is uniform. No handprints or disturbances in the dust layer on the boxes. He pivots 90 degrees to scan Sector B, Utilities. Visual observation. Basement sector. A furnace unit stands in the center of the room. It is a gas-fired model. The pilot light is visible through the inspection port, a small blue flame. The blower motor is currently idle, despite the high airflow detected upstairs. Next to the furnace is a water heater. 50-gallon capacity. The insulation blanket is intact. Carter to dictaphone. Furnace is in standby mode. Pilot is lit. Area is clear. No occupants hiding behind the mechanical units. Carter moves deeper into the room, toward the far corner, Sector C. The concrete floor is uneven here. There are cracks running from the center of the slab toward the foundation wall. Visual observation. Basement Sector C. Laundry backup. An older washing machine and dryer set are pushed against the wall. These units are unplugged. The dryer door is hanging open. Carter shines the light inside. Empty. He scans the floor around the units. Carter. Old appliances, not connected. Dust is thicker here. Spiderwebs visible between the washer and the wall. Audio anomaly detected. The body microphone picks up a low-frequency sound. Source. Indeterminate location within the basement. Characteristics. Rhythmic. Abrasive. Like a hard object being dragged across a rough surface. Scrape. 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 Duration. 1.5 seconds per scrape. Interval. 2 seconds. Silence. Carter freezes. He turns his head, orienting toward the sound. He holds his breath to eliminate respiration noise from the audio feed. Carter. Whispering. Audio contact. I hear scraping. Sounds like stone on stone, or metal on concrete. The sound stops. Silence. Duration. 10 seconds. The sound resumes. Scrape. Scrape. Carter triangulates the source. It is coming from the northeast corner, behind a stack of plywood sheets leaning against the wall. He raises his weapon. He adjusts his grip on the flashlight, holding it in the Harry's technique, crossed wrists, to support the weapon hand. Carter loudly, "Police, come out with your hands up." The scraping stops immediately. "Carter, I know you are there. Step out slowly." No verbal response. No movement. Carter advances toward the plywood. He moves heel to toe to maintain silence. He covers the distance of 20 feet in 10 seconds. He reaches the plywood stack. With his left hand holding the light, he hooks the edge of the top sheet and pulls it back. The wood clatters to the floor. Visual observation. Behind plywood. The wall behind the plywood is not solid concrete foundation. A section of the cinder blocks has been removed. The removal appears precise. The mortar has been chipped away, and the blocks have been pulled inward. Dimensions of breach, approximately 3 feet wide by 4 feet high. The hole reveals a dark cavity extending beyond the foundation of the house. Carter, to radio. "Dispatch, I have a structural anomaly. Someone has breached the foundation wall in the northeast corner. It looks like a tunnel entrance." Carter shines the flashlight into the hole. The beam cuts through suspended dust particles. Visual observation. Tunnel. Interior. The tunnel is hand excavated. The walls are raw earth and clay. Structural support. Wooden beams, 4 dive, 4 pressure-treated lumber, are installed as shoring every 3 feet. The workmanship is crude but functional. The floor of the tunnel is packed dirt. Distance. The light beam extends approximately 15 feet before the tunnel curves to the left. Carter. 2. Dictaphone. Confirmed tunnel. Hand dug. Shored up with timber. It extends under the backyard. This isn't a crawl space. This is an excavation. Audio anomaly resumes. The scraping sound is louder now. It is coming from inside the tunnel, around the bend. Scrape, thud, scrape, thud. Sound source is located within the tunnel. Distance estimated at 20 feet. Dispatch. I am entering the breach. The 911 call mentioned children. If they were taken, they might be down here. Dispatch. 4 Alpha. Advise you wait for backup. Subterranean environments are high risk. Carter. Negative. Backup is 10 minutes out. Timeline is critical. I am going in. Carter crouches. He lowers his head to clear the top of the opening. He steps into the tunnel. Environment change. Smell. Damp. Earth. Mold. And a metallic scent. Iron. Rust. Temperature. Drops further to approximately 8 degrees Celsius. Sound. Carter's breathing is amplified in the confined space. He moves forward in a crouch. His boots leave impressions in the soft dirt floor. Visual observation. There are drag marks in the center of the path, a continuous groove approximately 6 inches wide. Carter reaches the first shoring beam. He checks it for stability. It is solid. He continues. He approaches the curve in the tunnel. He slows his pace. He hugs the inner wall of the curve to minimize his profile. He pivots the flashlight around the corner. Visual observation. The tunnel opens up into a wider excavated room. Carter, whispering, I have a room, 10 by 10, standing height. I see furniture. LOG entry 007. Incident. Subterranean excavation. Evidence recovery date. February 12. Location 4738 Millbrook Road. Subterranean chamber. Unit 4 Alpha. Officer Carter. Source. Body camera. Axon Model 3. Officer Carter emerges from the narrow access tunnel into a larger excavated cavity. The ceiling height increases to approximately 6 feet, allowing him to transition from a crouch to a standing position. He extends his neck and rotates his shoulders, likely relieving tension from the confined approach. The body camera angle stabilizes at eye level. Environment analysis. Dimensions. Roughly 10 feet by 10 feet. Structure. Walls are packed earth, supported by vertical 4x4 timbers, spaced every 24 inches. Horizontal planks retain the soil between uprights. Floor. Packed dirt, partially covered by a remnant piece of shag carpet. Color. Air quality. Heavy, particulate matter visible in the light beam. Olfactory sensors, if active, would likely detect unwashed textiles, human waste, and damp soil. Carter. To dictaphone. Entering primary chamber. Standing room only. The structure appears stable. I have a habitation set up. Someone has been living down here. Carter pans the light across the room in a slow, methodical sweep, left to right. Visual inventory sector. A. Living quarters. In the southwest corner, a military-style folding cot is set up. The canvas is sagging. A sleeping bag. Brand. Coleman. Rating. 40 degrees Fahrenheit. Is bundled on top. The fabric is stained with dark patches, likely grease or soil. Next to the cot is a wooden crate turned on its side to function as a nightstand. Items on crate. 1 LED lantern. Battery operated. Status. Off. 1 plastic water bottle. 1.5 liter. Status. Empty. Crushed. 1 package of saltine crackers. Status. Open. Half consumed. 1 spiral-bound notebook. Cover is torn. Carter habitation confirmed. Bedding is used. Food waste is present. No subject in immediate visual range. Carter moves toward the north wall, Sector B. This wall is reinforced with plywood sheets nailed to the support timbers. The plywood is covered in paper items attached with push pins and duct tape. Carter steps closer. The camera autofocuses on the display. Visual observation. Evidence wall. The surface is covered with approximately 200 photographic prints. Standard 4x 6-inch format. Glossy finish. Carter leans in to inspect a cluster of photos near the center at eye level. Photo 1. Subject A. Adult. Female. Mother. Location. Kitchen window. Subject is washing dishes. Lighting indicates night. Angle suggests the photo was taken from the backyard tree line. Photo 2. Subject B. Adult male father. And Subject C. Child. Male. Location. Driveway. Subject B is loading a suitcase into the trunk of the Honda Accord. Photo 3. Subject D. Child. Female. Location. Backyard swing set. Subject is mid-swing. The image is grainy, suggesting high digital zoom. Carter. To dictaphone. I have surveillance photos. Extensive collection. Subjects match the residents of the house upstairs. These were taken from the exterior looking in. Carter directs the light to the edges of the collage. He points a gloved finger at the date stamp printed in orange digital font on the corner of a photo showing the house in snow. Date stamp reads, Jan 08 2023. That is 2 years ago. He moves his finger to another photo showing the female subject gardening. Carter. Date stamp Jun 1 42024. Summer. This subject has been documenting the family for a minimum of 24 months. Breathing rate monitor. Officer Carter's respiration rate increases from 16 breaths per minute to 22 breaths per minute. The audio records a sharp intake of air. Carter shifts focus to the center of the plywood board. Taped in the middle is a large sheet of drafting paper. Visual observation. Diagram. It is a hand-drawn floor plan of the residence above. The lines are drawn in black ink using a straight edge. Annotations. Kitchen. Dinner. 1830, 1915. Master bedroom. Lights out 23. Bus stop. 7:45. 2. Thu. Travel. Husband trip. Feb. 10 to 14. Carter. To dictaphone. He has their schedule. The husband's business trip is noted here. He knew the female subject would be alone. This was a planned extraction. Audio anomaly resumes. The scraping sound returns. Source location is now distinct. It is originating from the east wall of the chamber. Scrape. Drag. Scrape. Carter spins 90 degrees to face the east wall. His weapon light illuminates a dark recession in the dirt wall, a secondary tunnel or alcove that was previously obscured by the angle of entry. Carter. Movement detected. Secondary breach in the east wall. Audio source is active. The sound changes. The scraping stops, replaced by a soft, wet sound, like fabric sliding over mud. Distance, less than 5 meters. Carter raises the Glock 17 to a high-ready position. He aligns the sights with the center of the dark opening. Carter loudly, "Police, show me your hands. Do it now." Visual observation. A hand emerges from the darkness of the secondary tunnel. It is a human hand. Skin is pale, covered in gray clay. Fingernails are black with impacted soil. The hand grips the wooden support beam at the entrance of the alcove. Knuckles turn white from grip pressure. "Carter, I see a hand. Come out. Keep your hands where I can see them." A head follows the hand. Subject description: male, Caucasian, approximate age 40 to 50. Hair is long, matted, and caked with dirt. Facial hair is unkempt. Facial expression: the subject's mouth is open in a fixed grimace. The jaw muscles are rigid. The eyes are wide. Pupils dilated to maximum diameter, despite the high-lumen tactical light shining directly into them. There is no blink reflex. Behavior: the subject does not speak. He does not flinch. He begins to crawl forward on hands and knees, dragging his lower body. "Carter, stop. Get on the ground. Face down." The subject ignores the command. The crawling speed increases. The movement is erratic, scrambling, almost insect-like. Carter takes a step back. His boot heel hits the wooden crate, knocking the lantern to the floor. The noise is sharp plastic hitting packed dirt. "Stop or I will fire." The subject lunges. He pushes off the ground with both legs, propelling himself toward Carter's position. The distance closes to less than 3 feet in 0.8 seconds. Visual observation: the subject's right hand is raised. He is holding a sharpened object, a screwdriver, with the handle wrapped in electrical tape. Action: Officer Carter disengages the safety mechanism, internal, to trigger. He depresses the trigger. Audio: Shot 1. Crack 158 decibels. Muzzle flash illuminates the entire chamber for 0.1 seconds. Shot 2. Crack 158 decibels. Impact: the first round strikes the subject in the upper thoracic cavity, center, mass. The second round strikes the subject in the cranial region, right, frontal lobe. Physics: the subject's forward momentum is arrested. The body twists to the left and collapses onto the dirt floor, face down. The screwdriver skitters across the ground, coming to rest near Carter's boot. Carter keeps the weapon trained on the downed subject. He breathes heavily into the microphone. Shots fired. Suspect down. Requesting immediate backup and EMS. Shots fired. He waits. 5 seconds. 10 seconds. The subject does not move. A pool of dark liquid begins to expand beneath the subject's head, soaking into the packed earth. Carter: dispatch. Suspect is down. Unresponsive. I had no choice. He lunged. Dispatch: static filled. 4 Alpha. Copy. Shots fired. Units: en route. Signal analysis: transmission quality is degraded due to depth. Carter keeps the weapon leveled but risks a quick glance around the rest of the room. Carter: where are they? He shines the light back into the secondary tunnel where the suspect emerged. Visual observation: the tunnel ends 5 feet in. It is a dead end. It was a sleeping niche. There is no one else in the niche. Carter spins back to the main room. He kicks the cot over. Nothing underneath. He checks behind the plywood wall. Nothing. Carter voice, breaking clinical tone: dispatch. The room is clear. The suspect is neutralized. But negative contact on the family. There's no one else down here. He looks at the surveillance photos on the wall. The smiling faces of the family stare back, illuminated by the beam of his flashlight as it shakes in his hand. Carter: they aren't here. Log entry 008. Incident: scene stabilization. Post-action report date: February 12. Location: 4738 Millbrook Road, subterranean chamber. Exterior: unit 4 Alpha. Officer Carter. Source: body camera. Axon Model 3. Dashcam V90. The audio track records the officer's respiration rate at 32 breaths per minute. The intake is ragged. The body camera image vibrates vertically, consistent with tremors in the upper extremities following an adrenaline dump. Officer Carter keeps the service weapon indexed on the dorsal aspect of the suspect's torso. He maintains a distance of 6 feet. Carter. To dictaphone. Suspect is down. 2 shots fired. Center, mass, and cranial impact. No movement observed for 30 seconds. He takes a step forward. He extends his right foot and kicks the improvised weapon, screwdriver, further away from the suspect's hand. It clatters against the wooden shoring of the tunnel wall. Carter holsters his weapon but leaves the retention hood down. He retrieves a pair of latex gloves from his belt pouch and puts them on over his tactical gloves. He kneels beside the subject. He places 2 fingers on the carotid artery. Carter. Checking for pulse. Negative. Pupil response is fixed and dilated. Injuries are incompatible with life. Suspect is deceased. Time of death approximately 3:29. He stands up and wipes his gloves on his pants leg, though there is no transfer of biological material visible. Carter. To radio. Dispatch. 4 Alpha. Suspect is 11-4, 4 deceased. Scene is secure. I need the coroner and CSU, and I need a full search team. The residents are still missing. While waiting for backup, Carter performs a secondary sweep of the chamber to ensure no other threats are concealed. He checks the perimeter of the dirt walls. He runs his flashlight along the ceiling beams. Visual observation. The structural integrity of the tunnel is sound, no loose earth falling. He returns to the evidence wall. The collage of photographs. He leans in close to the hand-drawn map. He focuses on the kitchen area of the diagram. Annotation detail. Written in red ink near the back door is a note. Lock mechanism bypass. 14 seconds. Carter. He knew how to get in. Has been practicing, but there was no forced entry upstairs. The door was open from the inside. Audio analysis. Faint vibrations are detected from the tunnel entrance. Heavy footsteps on the wooden stairs in the basement. Voices shouting. Carter loudly. Police! Down here! In the tunnel. Voice. Distant. Carter. Sound off. Carter. I'm in the breach. North wall. Watch your head. 3 uniformed officers emerge from the tunnel entrance, flashlights cutting through the dust. Sergeant Miller is in the lead. He sees the body. He sees Carter. Weapon clear. Weapon holstered. Scene is cold. Miller moves to the body. The other 2 officers begin expanding the perimeter, checking the alcove. The scene transitions to the exterior. Carter is standing at the back of an ambulance parked in the driveway. A paramedic is checking his blood pressure. Dashcam view. The driveway is now crowded. 4 patrol units, 1 ambulance, and an unmarked detective sedan. The floodlights wash out the scene in stark white. Paramedic. BP is 150/90. Pulse is 110. You're coming down, but it's high. Carter. I'm fine. Just sign the card. He looks past the paramedic toward the house. The front door is now closed. Crime scene tape is being strung across the porch. Detective Holloway approaches Carter. He is holding a notepad. Holloway. Carter. Walk me through the timeline again. It's not adding up. Carter picks up his dictaphone. He presses the record button to log the conversation as part of the official report. Carter. I arrived at 3-7. House was lit. Heat was on. Food was hot. 138 degrees. I logged it. Holloway. We checked the food. Carter. CSU just temped it. It's stone cold. Ambient room temperature. It's been 40 minutes since I checked it. Of course, it cooled down. Holloway. No. The tech said it's congealed. It's been sitting for hours. In the car hood? You said it was cold. Carter. Stone cold. Frost on the windshield. Holloway. So the car has been there for hours. The food has been there for hours. But you say the food was steaming when you walked in. Carter. I have it on tape, detective. I have the thermometer reading logged. Holloway flips a page in his notebook. He looks tired. Holloway. And the family? You cleared the house. Carter. Room by room. Closets. Beds. Attic hatch. Then the basement. The tunnel leads to the suspect's nest. But there's no exit from that nest, detective. It's a dead end. If he took them, he had to bring them back out through the kitchen. Holloway. We have officers searching the fields now. Drones are up. Thermal is negative. If they left on foot, they didn't get far in this cold without coats, and the coats are still in the closet. They didn't leave on foot. The timeline is broken. The food was hot, but the car was cold. The beds were made, but it was 3 a.m. It's like 2 different times were happening in that house at once. Officer Carter sits in the driver's seat of Unit 4 Alpha. The engine is idling. He is alone. The heater is blowing warm air on his hands. He picks up the dictaphone for the final entry. Carter, final log, incident 4738 Millbrook. Suspect, identified as John Doe, transient male, confirmed, deceased. The investigation has been handed over to Major Crimes. He pauses. He looks out the windshield at the farmhouse. The lights are being turned off one by one as CSU moves through the rooms. The prevailing theory is a kidnapping gone wrong, but the evidence doesn't support it. There are no drag marks in the hallway, no blood upstairs. The suspect was living under their feet for 2 years. He had photos of them sleeping. He could have taken them at any time. He watches a tech carry a bag of evidence out the front door. It contains the casserole dish. Carter. Why tonight? Why call 911 and then vanish before the phone hits the floor? And why? Why set the table for dinner at 3 a.m.? He presses the stop button. The tape rewinds with a high-pitched whir. He engages the transmission. Carter to radio, 4 Alpha, is clear of the scene, returning to station for debrief, 10-7. He turns off the overhead lights. The gravel crunches as he backs out of the driveway. The camera view lingers on the house. The top right window, the child's bedroom, is dark. Then, for a single frame, 0.03 seconds, a light flickers in the window. Carter does not see it. He drives away. Recording terminated status. Case open. Unsolved archivist note. No further electronic signals were ever detected from the Millbrook residence. The property remains vacant. The archive is now closed. Until we unseal the next file, sleep well.